few more of these, and the Deadlands will seem less dead.
Kicked out already?
No. This charmer ain't letting anyone through.
Why are the gates closed?
Chief's orders. No one's allowed in without his say-so. Not that I'd have let you in anyway. You look like trouble. I suggest you go home.
That's what I'm trying to do, you little prick. Ain't changed a bit, have you, Snotty?
No. It isn't. Blackthorn.
Long time no see, eh?
What the hell are you doing here?
Well, it was meant to be a surprise, but since you are so nicely, I'm here to see Zoltan, you fucking numbskull. Now let us through.
All right. Just don't go starting anything with the chief.
Yeah, I promise I won't throw the first punch. That good enough for you?
Go on then.
Much obliged.
So this is Dravosht. Not much going on, is there?
It's a smithing town. When I was a lad, you'd have to shout to be heard over the sound of hammer on anvil. Clive, you're good with people. You speak to Zoltan.
Hey, you ain't backing out now, are you?
There's a river of bad blood between me and the chief. But if someone can build me a bridge, then I'll cross it.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
I appreciate it. He'll be near the forge on the hill. It was our master's. He'd have inherited it when I left.
Forge on the hill.
Good luck. You'll be needing it.
Wonder why Blackthorn and Zoltan fell out. Hammer envy?
Our master always liked to keep an eye on the village. That's why he built his forge up on the hill.
I have some things for sale. Farewell, traveller.
Sorry, but if none of you lot can smell ore anymore, we're gonna have to start looking for new clients.
Ha! Good luck finding anyone else who can make a fire worth a damn.
What's the point of mining this shit if no one can use it?
If they don't fix the forges soon, we'll be out of a job.
Watch it, stranger. There's a fault up ahead. Take a look if you want, but slip and you won't be coming back.
The sky sucked up all the ether or something. Would explain why nothing bloody works down here anymore.
Miners only. Can't have you tripping headfirst into a pile and bringing the whole place down.
Isn't there anything we can do to help? Doesn't seem fair the menfolk having to deal with this.
Mama? Why hasn't Papa come back yet?
He's helping the chief with something very important. You go back inside now.
But if we can't fire the forges, how are we going to earn our keep?
Shut your hole. The chief will think of something.
That's my obituary written then. The man who closed the doors on his great-grandfather's forge.
Oh, don't say that. It's not over yet. Let me help.
Good day. Farewell, traveller.
Mama, why hasn't Papa...
Hotter! Hotter, damn it! Those miserable flames wouldn't melt butter, let alone iron.
Pardon the intrusion. I'm looking for the chief.
That'd be me.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
I'll bet it is. Keep the gates closed, I tell him. Well done, Snotty. You're not welcome here. Get out. Before things turn nasty.
Blackthorn's here.
What did you say?
He's traveled a long way to see you.
Yes, has he?
He's waiting. Down by the gates.
Then I suggest you take him with you when you leave.
Didn't you apprentice together?
So what if we did?
Fuck! We're getting nowhere! These bearers' flames are next to bloody useless!
We're never going to be able to fire up the forges unless we can find some new crystals.
I'm a busy man, as you can see, so do me a favor and piss off. Oh, and if you're struggling to find your way out, ask Blackthorn. That prick knows exactly where the exit is. He's not wanted here. And neither are you.
All right. I'm going.
Please, Chief, you've got to do something. If this keeps up, we'll be ruined.
So Bearer's magic's no more use than the crystals.
I thought I'd made myself clear. Piss off.
It's no use. The flames just aren't hot enough.
I suppose we could try working copper instead, if we had the ore.
That's my obituary written then.
But if we can't fire the forges, how are we going to earn our keep?
Shut.
Let me guess. Zoltan told you to piss off.
As a personal favor to him, yes.
Well, at least he didn't beat about the bush.
There'll be no talking him round. Not after what I did.
Which is what exactly? If we're to help, we need to know. What turned the village against you?
I left. Dravozd. Zoltan. The burden of leadership our dying master dropped in our laps. All of it. There are two kinds of smiths in this world, you see. My kind, who are in it for the love of the craft, who labour on a single piece from dawn to dusk to get it just right. And the other kind, who are in it for different reasons. People like Zoltan, whose work is quick and cheap. The kind of smiths who shit out a few hundred blades, reap the profit, and divvy it out among themselves. There wasn't a single day we weren't at each other's throats. And bit by bit, people started taking sides. You would have torn Dravost in half had it gone on. So, I left.
You didn't have to do that.
Zoltan's a better chief than I would have been. His way of doing things kept food on people's tables. Dravost prospered without me and my lofty ideals getting in the road. Until the crystals run out at any rate. Without magic to fire the furnaces, this place is as good as dead.
It depends on how you look at it, though. There's got to be other ways of making fire. We manage it in the Deadlands.
Thanks to Sid's ingenuity, yeah. He saw all of this coming. Knew crystals were the problem, not the solution. And spent years coming up with ways of doing without.
You know what I mean, though, right? Where there's a will, there's a way. What I'm trying to say is that it's not your fault. You couldn't have predicted this.
It doesn't matter whose fault it is. I don't want to be the greatest smith alive just because I happen to be the last. Clive. Dravost won't last long without its furnaces. So, do you think it's time we shared Sid's bellows with the world? The way I see it, it's your decision to make.
Hold on, Blackthorn. Sid made those things for us. They give us an edge over the rest. And you'd be throwing it away.
All right. Do it. This place was your home. I won't abandon it to its fate. Sid's creations were never meant to be hoarded. It was only ever a matter of time before we shared them. Let this be another step on the road to freeing Valisthea from the prison of the Crystal's blessing. Dravost will show the world that it's possible. Wouldn't you agree, August?
When you put it that way, of course. It's like hearing Sid speak from beyond the grave.
Thank you, Clive.
Shall I go and fetch the plans, then?
I know I'm off by heart. I'll be needing some help, though. Building a furnace isn't exactly a one-man job. Do us a favour and round up anyone strong enough to lug a brick or two, would you, August?
All right, then.
And I've got a job for you too, Clive. Finding me some salamander skin. I need leather for the bellows and nothing else will withstand the heat. Luckily for us, salamanders feed out in the fields of Carava.
Time for a spot of hunting, then.
Sid tried all sorts of leather to make those bellows, but salamander skin was the only kind that worked. Luckily for all our sakes, salamanders aren't too hard to find around these parts.
Blackthorn's got some nerve coming back here. Run like the wind. Come on. Let's make this quick, shall we? I dare say that will be enough for a decent set of bellows.
What's this all about then?
Dunno. Some kind of new invention.
Good news, Clive. When I told people we'd be building them a new furnace, they were practically falling over themselves to help. Talk about changing their tune, eh?
Any trouble finding the skin?
Nothing I couldn't handle.
This should be plenty. Right then, time to put these louds to work. If everyone pulls their weight, we'll be finished in no time.
Well, I'll be damned. I honestly didn't think it'd work. But it's hot enough, all right. And without a single crystal in sight.
You know what this means, don't you?
I do, yeah. Dravost is saved.
Sorry about earlier. I take back everything I said. That thing you built us is an honest-to-God's marvel. You saved our village.
It's Blackthorn you should be thanking. He oversaw the construction.
Give this to him, would you?
What is it?
Pit Cole's cinders. After he left, I spent years trying to eke the most out of our forges. That there was my answer. Chuck it in the fire, and your forge will burn hotter for longer, which will do wonders for your steel. Our secret for yours. Only fair. I've always envied Blackthorn. Since the day I became chief, I spent every spare moment trying to match up to the bastard. No amount of sleepless nights at the anvil will ever bridge that gap, though. He's a genius. Plain and simple. The man Dravost needed. But he took all his talent and left. Gifted and free. Is it any wonder I hate his guts?
The cinders would mean more coming from you.
I need to forgive him first. And that's not gonna happen.
Well, you know what they say. Oriflamme weren't built in a day and all that. These things take time. Especially when they involve two geezers who hold grudges tighter than their hammers. But what matters is, Blackthorn's got that twinkle back in his eye. And I'd call that a job well done.
So would I.
I reckon he's going to be at it a while yet, though, so why don't you head off without us? I'll see that the old git gets home safe and sound.
See that you both do. I'll save the cinders till then.
All right. It'll be a nice little surprise for him. He's still explaining the ins and outs of the new forge, so I doubt we'll be going anywhere for a bit. No sense you waiting around anyway.
Don't go thinking those cinders mean I've forgiven Blackthorn. Because I haven't, and I won't. But knowing how much they improve my work, I can only imagine what they'll do for him.
I want a set of these bellows for our forge.
Well, I'm sure they'll make us some if you ask.
These things are going to take some getting used to.
Yeah. Give it a week, and you'll wonder why you ever bother with crystals. Let's run through it again, shall we?
See? The thing here blows air through the coals, and the faster the flow, the hotter the flame. It's that simple.
And it doesn't need any magic at all?
Bloody
I'll bet the blacksmiths will be queuing up to buy you a drink now. Reckon you might have saved this town and everyone in it.
Whoever invented this thing was a fucking genius.
I'll bet the blacksmiths will be queuing up to buy you a drink now. Reckon you might have saved this town and everyone in it.
Yeah, that's not Blackthorn, is it? I thought I'd see his face in Dravost again.
Forges are back in action, and burning like the flames of hell itself.
The stew's awfully. Thin these days.
Gentlemen, I see you both made it home in one piece.
Yeah, well, we didn't want to outstay our welcome. The whole village turned out for a go on the bellows after you left. Everyone except Zoltan, that is. Didn't see hide nor hair of him.
Oh, but that reminds me. I have something for you.
Pick Cinder. How'd you come by this? And you're sure he wanted me to have it?
I'm sure. He didn't say so, but I think he wants to forgive you.
Huh. Imagine that. Yeah. You know I could never leave this place, don't you? Every time you put on mail, you and the Curse Breakers are trusting me with your lives. There's no greater honor for a smith than that. I'm not about to go crawling back to Zoltan for forgiveness, but I will make good use of his cinder. And if that helps save even a single life, then he'll have my gratitude. What was it you said he called me? Huh? A genius? And he spent sleepless night trying to copy me, did he? Sounds like I better get to work. I've got a reputation to uphold.
It's good to see you back on form, Blackthorn.
I don't know how you pair put up with me sometimes, but I'm grateful all the same. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, about to put Zoltan back in his place.
Ain't got the art to tell him how similar they are. Stubborn bastards.
A little healthy competition should be good for him.
You're not wrong. Still, it's a shame him and Zoltan couldn't let bygones be bygones. No use grumbling about it now, though. Blackthorn's happy. Or as near to happy as he gets. And that's good enough for me.
So, will it be? Anything else?
The stew's awfully thin these days.
Heard the bad news then, did you?
What bad news?
About Dravost. Blackthorn's old haunt. With the forge and all that. Well, anyway, the mines just down the road from there are spewing out ether like no one's business.
And the village?
Safe from the flood for now, but they've got other problems. Akashic. Every creature in the area is either turned or on the way to turning, apparently. Zoltan and the others are living on borrowed time. They need help, and quick. Doris sent a few curse breakers to keep an eye on things, but there's only so much a couple of scouts can do. Except get eaten. If something ain't done soon, the whole place will be overrun.
I won't let that happen.
Didn't think you would.
Does Blackthorn know?
I thought it might be better if he didn't. He'd only do something stupid. You reckon we should tell him?
No. It's better this way.
Yeah, well... I can't stand about knowing what's happening out there, so I'm off. I'll see you in Dravost.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so... Here you are. All done?
Oh, you're here. August's waiting for you inside. Well, go on then.
So Dravost is still standing. For now, at least.
If you can swing a hammer, you can swing a sword.
The brass neck of that girl. Everyone's coming together to fight for their lives, and she hasn't lowered her prices a gill.
Anyone without a blade, come and get one. Sharpest edge in Dravost, guaranteed.
Promise you'll come back to me. Don't you dare leave me alone.
I promise, all right? Now stay indoors and stay quiet.
We've spread the word. Those who can't fight are taking refuge inside their houses. Good. Then let's get the tools out.
But I want to go with you.
And I want you to stay here and look after your mother.
Sid, good to see you. Our scouts are keeping watch on the edges of the ether flood. Any movement, you'll be the first to know. Clive! You're here!
And the Akashic?
Mostly off to the north still. But I spoke to Doris's scouts and it turns out things are worse than I thought. There's swarms of them out there. Told old Snotty to be ready to seal the north gate. That should buy us some time if we need it. Enough for the villagers to barricade themselves inside their homes at least.
Well done.
Welcome back, Sid. I'd never have guessed, you know. Not if August hadn't let slip. Who'd have thought that the savior of Dravost would turn out to be the realm's most infamous outlaw? Keen to help us out again?
I am.
Thought you could sneak off without me, did ya?
Blackthorn.
Oh, what are you doing here?
One of the scouts couldn't keep his voice down. Unlike my best mate who didn't think I deserved to know. Zoltan, how long's it been? Long enough for us two to turn into a pair of old codgers, I see.
That your idea of an apology? Prick.
Don't listen to him. You only did what you thought was best. For the village and that.
I did, yeah. But that ain't the whole of it. Vulcan, our master, didn't leave the chiefdom to the two of us. He left it to me. The best blacksmith in Dravost, barring himself, of course. Bloody stupid tradition, in my opinion. If someone's got talent, you should let them practice their craft, not ask them to settle petty feuds and barter for grain. Our master wasted half his life that way. I wasn't about to let that happen to me.
So you wasted half of mine instead?
You're what Dravost needed. Under me and my precious ideals, this place wouldn't have lasted a year. So I left to devote myself to the work and spare you lot the consequences. I may be a selfish prick, but I only did what I felt I had to.
What you had to do was your duty!
Even if it meant we all starved?
Enough. This is no time for bickering. You can finish beating each other up once Dravost is safe.
Fine. I've said my piece anyway.
Yeah, so have I.
Sorry, Clive. I shouldn't have stuck my nose in. We're short enough on time as it is. Still, give us a mo, would you? I need to get my head straight before any of them Akashic try to bite it off.
Prick or not, I won't abandon Dravost to a swarm of Akashic.
Just say the word. The villagers know to keep out of sight when the fighting starts.
You, ready for the off, then?
We can't afford to waste any more time.
Right you are. Might be worth having one last word with the scouts, though. Don't want any nasty surprises, do we? Oh, and Blackthorn, you and Zoltan might be better off staying inside the...
Akashic on the move.
How close are they?
Within sight of the walls, and there are more coming up from the mines.
What was I saying about nasty surprises?
They'll wash right over us if we stay out in the open. We're pulling back behind the gates.
Good idea. Get yourselves inside, but keep your weapons handy.
Understood.
I'm prepared to fight if I have to.
Well, let's hope you don't. That's our job. Once the scouts are inside, order your men to barricade the gates. No heroic last stands, you hear me? No fighting at all if you can help it.
August's right. I've seen what Akashic beasts can do to armor. The people here are tough and willing, but they ain't equipped to face what's coming.
I'm going out there. Start work on the gate as soon as I've left. I'll give you as much time as I can.
And if they kill you?
You evacuate. But it won't come to that. I promise.
You'd better be right.
Take good care of Dravoj till I get back.
Leave it to me. And give those things what for, yeah?
All right. Which one of you's first? Is that it? Apparently not. Not getting past me. question is, did I miss any?
Man alive! You're still in one piece!
I slew as many as I could.
As many as I could, he says. The old bleeding lot, more like it. Well, almost.
Only almost.
Yeah, one or two did try to sneak over the wall. But we got the bastards, don't you worry.
Good. Though you do know, more will come in time.
In time, yeah. But we can think about them later. Let's get you back inside.
The beast was charging at me, and he threw himself in its path. He died to save me.
No, he didn't. He's just out cold. He'll be fine when he wakes up.
Thank you for your help, Sid. I don't know if we could have done it without you. But we did, and with hardly a man wounded. Which is well, for we'll be needing all the strength we can to keep the Akashic down.
Sid! You're even more fearsome than your reputation. Enough to give those Akashic monsters nightmares. I almost felt sorry for the wretched things. But mostly, I felt grateful. Dravoged won't forget what you did today.
I'm afraid I've only delayed the inevitable. There's no getting rid of that ether flood. Meaning that any living thing which stumbles into those mines will end up clawing at your walls again.
And that's if the flood don't spread. If it does, well, I hate to say it, but the village's days are numbered.
That may be, but we're staying just the same. With ether floods springing up all over, it's no less safe than anywhere, and more importantly, it's our home. We'll fortify the gates to the north, and I'll see that they're guarded day and night.
All right. Then we'll give you a hand shoring up those defenses.
As for you, Blackthorn, that's twice you've turned up when Dravos needed you. So, thanks.
I shouldn't have stayed away so long. And I shouldn't have left without talking it over with you first.
Too bloody right you shouldn't. Though I doubt I'd have listened. I always envied you. How you made everything look so easy when, for me, it was anything but. You leaving gave me the perfect excuse to hate you. And from that day on, I never once stopped to wonder what it would have been like if you'd stayed. But what you said earlier, it was true. You'd have been the death of this place.
Finally, something we can agree on. I hope you see the sense of it eventually. You kept this place alive.
Alive, perhaps. Wealthy even, but Dravoged isn't what it once was. Our work used to be the pride of Dalmekia. Now, we churn out the same rubbish day after day because it's easy and turns a profit. It's not about the craft anymore. I wouldn't send my sons to war wearing the shit most of our smiths are making. I've kept working, honing my skills, trying to lead by example, but no one sees the point. The average castle apprentice has as much passion for the craft as our current lot. Come back to us, Blackthorn. Remind Dravost what a true master blacksmith looks like. I'll even man those bellows of yours if it means we can work at the same forge again.
That's a kind offer. Kinder than I deserve. And I wish I could accept, but I'm needed elsewhere. There's people who trust their lives to my steel, and I daren't let them down.
Fair enough.
But that doesn't mean I couldn't visit from time to time. Let's see if we can't rekindle this town's passion for the craft, shall we?
I'd like that.
Just be sure to tell Snotty to let me in the next time I come calling, yeah?
Knowing him, he'd let you in anyway. Blackthorn. The Master Smith turned outlaw, back in my good graces. I never thought I'd see the day.
I'd say that went pretty well, wouldn't you?
Even better than I'd hoped.
Sid, I've got something for you.
And this is?
A token of our lasting gratitude. But I'm of a mind to make you a far grander gift. Designs for a certain sword have been passed down from chief to chief for generations.
Now hold on, Zoltan. There's a reason no one's made that blade in centuries. There's not been a craftsman equal to the task. I'll admit your cinders make impressive steel, and I've learned to hone an edge Odin will be proud of. But the engravings on that thing are enough to make a jeweler cry. And they're not just for show, either.
Have you forgotten what brought you back to Dravost in the first place? A certain ring? I knew I'd never surpass you with the hammer and tongs. So I turned my hand to a different kind of metalwork. Between the two of us, I'd say we're the equal of any master craftsman ever to have graced a forge.
You know what? I think you might be right. Clive, you wouldn't mind if Zoltan came back to the hideaway, would you?
He's more than welcome. As long as he can keep our secret.
Right. Zoltan, get your tools. We've got a legend to forge.
I'll get him back to the hideaway. Don't you worry about that.
With a little help from Blackthorn, I don't see why we can't restore Dravost to its former glory. Barring ether floods, that is.
I'll tell you what, Clive. If we pull this off, it will ruin every other sword you've ever held.
The beast was charging at me. So its path. It died to save me.
Are you hurt?
Just a few cuts and bruises. Nothing worth worrying about.
Can we come out now?
Thank you for your help, Sid. I don't know if we could have done it without you.
I have some things for sale. Farewell, traveller.
You and your friends saved Dravost twice over. I'll try not to ask it of you a third time. The flood's still pressing up against our gates. But we've got men, we've got metal, and we've got the will to defend what's ours.
The stew's awfully thin.
Ah, the man himself.
We were just about to make a start on that sword I promised you.
It's funny, but none of this would have been possible without your help. You remember Camille? We'll be using his leatherwork for the grip. The steel, meanwhile, will be tempered in a fire, burning the cinders you charmed out of old Zoltan here. And that whetstone from the Outer Isles, that'll be what gives the blade its edge. And the final flourish will be my talented colleagues' engraving.
A team effort led by the greatest blacksmith alive.
Now, save that talk till the thing's finished, yeah? Right. I'm ready if you are.
To the bellows it is, then.
Well, bugger me. We actually did it.
The sword to end all swords. Ragnarok.
It's quite something.
I trust you'll take good care of it.
Thank you. Both of you.
So, does this make you pair the greatest craftsman alive, then?
This? Nah. This was just following the footsteps of the greats of old. It'll take more than that to earn us our place in history. But we're up for the challenge. Here.
A list of materials.
Zoltan and I got talking on the long road back from Dravost.
We reckon with those items there, we could craft something even better than the Ragnarok. Something worthy of a legendary outlaw like yourself.
That's a weapon I'd like to see. You leave this list with me.
I was hoping you'd say that.
One legend at a time, eh, lads? Before you start on the next, who fancies raising a cup to friendship reforged?
Good idea. No more drinking to forget my past. It's about time I had something to celebrate.
Then tap the kegs! Vulcan's boys are on their way! No need to thank me for the sword. I'm happy just to be here. You've built a fine home for yourselves, and I can see why Blackthorn's so taken with it. Look after the old bastard for me, will you? I'll be off soon, but next time you're in Dalmacia, be sure to pay me a visit. Snotty'll let you in.
Do you reckon we finally got to the bottom of Blackthorn's troubles then? That'd be something, eh? Though he wouldn't be Blackthorn if he didn't give us the odd scale.
So what do I owe the honour? I never thought me and Zoltan would ever speak again, let alone work together. And if it hadn't been for you, we wouldn't. You've been a good friend of me, Clive. The best. So, what'll it be? That it? Fine.
The stew's awfully thin these days.
Expect. Farmers are abandoning their fields and traders their woods. Most of what we have now comes from here in the hideaway.
Everything's back the way it was. I don't know how.
Fresh silks from the Canva caravan. Like
mustard and mandrake, saffron and sage.
If there's one thing
My customers can't seem to get enough of these barns. Perhaps my fool of an apprentice wasn't so foolish after all.
it, Renz! It's dangerous!
Everyone round town saying Master Lubor's going to be the new mayor.
Well, there's no doubting he's the best man for the job. But you'd think he had enough on his plate already.
Fresh silks from the Canva caravan. Like naught you've seen before.
Mustard and mandrake, saffron and sage.
When the Fang fella took my livelihood with it. No work here for a miner anymore.
What about the town watch? Swinging a sword can't be too different from swinging a pick.
Come, travellers, bask in our healing waters and soothe the aches and pains of the road.
Daddy, what happened to your crystal?
It broke, Sam, and we won't be getting another.
Those damned blackguards took all my best pieces. Just my luck that we were robbed by connoisseurs.
We need someone who can bring the whole town together. Further, maybe?
Are you forgetting about Lubor? He was the one who convinced Conrad and Natalie to join forces.
When's the sun going to come out again?
Are you feeling the chill? Let's take a trip to the baths, shall we? Get ourselves warmed up.
Nothing to report. Same as yesterday.
That should be everything. Question is, where does Natalie want it all?
Gilbert, take this crystal. It's no more use than the bearer I sold to buy it. Ah, well, can always buy another. But at least I don't have to feed it.
This town would not be here were it not for Drake's Fang. The inn and the baths were established to serve those working the mines, you see. Now that the Mother Crystal is no more, fewer and fewer travelers are making their way here. Should our youth begin to leave for pastures new as well, Dalimil may not be much longer for this world.
I always thought it was the blessing I'd miss if the Fang fell, not the miners.
Yes. You could always count on them not knowing the price of anything.
I still can't quite believe it. Lord Kupka, gone. And all his men with him. Our best customers.
And the Fang fella took my livelihood.
If there's one thing we've learned over the past few moons, is that we're stronger when we stick together. And if having a mayor can help us do that, then we're for it.
Mustard and mandrake.
Fresh silk.
Everything's back the way it was.
I'm glad Conrad and Natalie have put their differences aside. But if they're going to spend all day here conferring, is it too much to ask that they order more than a single drink?
The Town Watch and the Merchants Guild have remained united in the defense of Dalimil thus far. But we cannot be blind to the fact that having two leaderships is a recipe for division.
What we need is a mayor. One who can steer the whole town true. And I can think of none better for the role than young Lubor.
caravans have sent word that the bandits are regrouping.
Let them! We'll be all right. After all, we have the town guard to protect us.
I see you've met with the bearer of the burning quill. Then you'll forgive me if I drop the pretense in your presence, my lord. I have served his grace as the Undying's contact in Dalimil for a good many years now. Indeed, it was my great honor to offer your brother safe haven here not so very long ago. Though, to my eternal shame, it seems he did not find my carrot stew particularly toothsome.
I had a hell of a time getting this thing to light.
My crystal's the same. The magic's been fading ever since the sky's turned.
I heard it was Sid the Outlaw who tracked the Fang. But if that's true, it would mean he was the one who killed Lord Kupka, too. Can you believe it? The mighty Titan, bested by some common criminal.
Take that, you naughty thief! And that! Stop it, Ren!
Clive! To what do I owe the pleasure? I just wanted to see how the town's been faring since you brought everyone together.
Since we brought everyone together, all is absolutely wonderful. Conrad and Natalie's hands remain safely away from each other's throats and firmly at the helm. Our stores are full, and the bandits still too disorganized to raid them. Just as the good Lady Jane and Lord Underhill intended.
Are you a lord? Lubor's going to be one too. They're going to make him the Lord of Dalimil, because of how he stopped all the grown-ups from fighting.
It's the mayor of Dalimil, dear child, and the vote hasn't taken place just yet. But if the people wish me to lead them, I shall. And my first act will be to build a school so that menaces like you two learn not to interrupt your elders. Speaking of menaces, there may be a rather worrying one just over the horizon.
May there indeed.
I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their differences and presenting a united front might have caught the bandits' attention. And they might have elected to take a similar approach. They have formed what one could call a League of Outlaws, and they grow more organized by the day.
But we'll fight them all off just like last time, no matter how many of them there are. Won't we, Lubor?
Of course we will. If we continue to work together, we can overcome any challenge we choose to face. The longer we avoid facing this one, the more difficult it will be, until the only way to overcome it might be to run for the hills. Our best hope is to nip these efforts at organization in the bud, by finding those ne'er-do-wells who have yet to join the cause, and ensuring that they never do. Perhaps a certain Lord Underhill might be willing to lend us his aid once more?
How could I refuse?
Thank you, my lord. Victor will fill you in on the particulars. I have him stationed by the desert gate, receiving and collating reports from my scouts. Such an amenable soul. He reminds me of you.
I'll go and speak with him.
Victor has been collating reports on the bandits' encampments. You'll find him by the desert gate. I'm sure if he has anything to ask of you, it will be simple enough.
A league of outlaws.
Sounds like we have some competition.
We may have bloodied the bandits' noses, Sid, but it seems we have not yet broken their spirit. Victor is helping us to keep track of their movements. And we're very glad of his help. That man knows the desert and its dwellers like the back of his hand.
Are you sure about this? The desert's a dangerous place. You'd be safer in a caravan.
And slower. My bird can outrun any beast or brigand.
Faster, man! Your magic may have faded, but so long as you have strength in your body, you will serve me.
Still in Dalamil, Victor?
Ah, Sid.
I thought you'd have returned to Cosnis by now.
I did. Then I came back. I've developed something of a fondness for the place. And having worked so hard to see it saved from one fate, it would seem remiss to abandon it to another. A sentiment Master Lubor certainly isn't shy about exploiting. Hence my doing his bidding yet again.
You're not the only one.
What does he want you to do?
He asked for my aid in putting down the bandits. And he said that you might be able to help me find them.
Then you've come at just the right time. I was on my way to speak with Conrad about how to organize our forces. There are more camps in the vicinity than we can safely strike at once. But we must strike together, and we must strike soon at as many camps as we can. We can't give this league of theirs time to rally its forces.
All right. Which camp shall I take?
There's one upriver. Just out there, across the dunes.
Leave it with me.
The camp is in the desert to the north of here. You know what to do.
Those ne'er-do-wells want to band together. Let them. They'll be no match for us.
Fly, Ambrosia!
That must be the camp Victor mentioned.
We make this quick.
That's him! The one who killed Locke and Fingers! Take his head
I'd better let Victor know.
Sid, where are you? Ah, I see the bandits didn't pose you any trouble.
No, but... that's not why you're here, is it?
No. Something's happened. We need you back in Dalimil.
What is it?
The whole town's in uproar. They're saying that Lubor is a bearer.
What?
Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have been. They let one of the bandits escape, and his escape route took him right through Dalimil. Some of the children spotted him, and he was about to silence them. And when Lubor felled him with a bolt of magic, and without a crystal.
But that's not possible.
It is, if he's a bearer and has been hiding it all these years, which is what people are saying. If he has, well, I wouldn't blame him. No man is branded by choice. Still, all those people see is a man who's lied to them all his life. One who was made a leader of himself when the world believed he should have been a slave.
Fuck.
I don't know where we go from here, but I know one thing. Lubor needs all the friends he can get right now.
You're right.
And now everyone knows. I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for just such an occasion. And when that occasion arose, I forgot to reach for it. Well, it was bound to come out sooner or later.
We're sorry, Lubor. We tried to keep running,
but we just couldn't anymore.
There's nothing to be sorry for. I rather enjoyed playing the hero for once. All that matters to me is that you two are safe.
Look at him talking to his betters like it's nothing.
All lies, I'll wager. Just like the ones he fed us all these years.
Once people make up their minds, it's hard to change them. We need to do something, and quickly. Convince the people not to let their prejudices blind them. Convince them that nothing has changed. That their enemy lies outside these walls, not within them.
You're right. We should speak to everyone.
I'm glad you agree. I'll handle the townsfolk. I'm a Dalmec born and bred. They listen to me. You head to the tavern. Make Conrad and Natalie remember who Lubor really is. They know that Lubor and I are friends. I might not make for the most impartial of interlocutors. Lord Underhill of Randalar's League of Merchants, however, is a trusted and impartial mediator of note.
I'll do what I can. Lubor, stay here with the children. I can't promise anything, but we'll try.
And that is all I can ask of you. Thank you, Clive. I'm sure you have better things to do with your time.
I don't care if Lubor's a bearer. He's still Lubor, isn't he?
The man with the sword was going to kill us, but then Lubor shot magic at him. It was amazing.
Tell us. Why are you taking the bearer's side, Victor? Are you one too?
You know I'm not. Just listen.
What do you mean, don't jump to conclusions? He cast a spell without a crystal. What other conclusion is there?
Why do they always have to make such a fuss outside? It's driving away our customers.
So, Lubor is a bearer, is he? He did well to keep it hidden so long. Unlike some of my fellow Dalimilians, the deception doesn't trouble me. Does the world know the full truth about them, I wonder?
None of the stalls were plundered this time, thanks Peter Gilbert. How did your men fare? Any wounded?
The only thing wounded was
I saw the whole thing! The magic flew straight from Lubor's hand, I swear it! And without a crystal in sight!
The bastard's been lying to us for as long as we've known him.
Can you believe we were going to make him mayor? He would have been the ruin of us all.
I think we'd better shut up shop for today. Give people one less thing to throw at him.
Sounds like something's happening in the square. I wonder what.
Those damned blackguards took all my best.
Daddy, what happened to your crystal?
I always thought it was the blessing I'd miss if the fang fell. Not the miners.
Yes.
Gilbert, take this crystal.
I heard it was Sid the Outlaw who tracked the fang. But if that's true...
That he was playing us for fools.
And we fell for it. We followed him. A bearer.
Forgive me for disturbing you, but could I have a moment of your time?
I've seen your face before.
As have I. Lord Underhill, wasn't it? Of the League of Merchants.
That's right. I wanted to speak to you about Lubor.
The rumors that he's a bearer. All true, I'm afraid.
He'll never be mayor now. Not if I have anything to do with it.
But what of his wares? Bearer or no, his steel is highly valued throughout the Republic. In this at least he's done the town a service. Might that not earn him a little leniency?
Leniency? He pretended to be one of us when he was laughing behind our backs all the while.
I'm sorry, my lord, but he lied to us. He lied to you. He cannot be trusted.
So what do you propose? Will you drive him from his home? Close his forge?
Perhaps. That is a question for the people of Dalimil. And they will thank you not to get involved.
The townsfolk have made their minds up. There was nothing I could do.
Nor I. Conrad and Natalie refused to consider anything but their own wounded pride.
You never know. Once their anger is cooled, they might see things differently. For now, we should report back to Lubor.
All right.
Why do they always have to make such a fuss outside? It's driving away our customers.
Lubor has been lying to us from the beginning. How can we trust him?
You may have your business interests to consider, my lord, but do not think you can sway us with your honeyed words.
Why the hell would Victor take the bearer's side?
For a share in Lubor's ill-gotten gil, perhaps?
I don't care if Lubor's a bearer. He's still Lubor, isn't he?
I assume the situation is hopeless?
There's still hope. But...
But perhaps not in this lifetime, I think it's fair to say.
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. Give them time. They'll come around. We'll talk some sense into them in the end, you'll see.
No, you won't. And your efforts would be better spent elsewhere.
But Lubor...
Rosina would often tell me that steel does not lie, that a blade is a reflection of the smith who forged it. To yourself be true, that was her point. Rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with a blade of her own making. But I do not doubt that she was always true to herself and what she believed in, right to the end. And so must I be. I must do what I know to be right, no matter what others might think of me. And now, I know what that is. I must embrace my new role of villain so that the people of Dalimil have something to unite against. For only united can they hope to stand against the threat that awaits them. I'll need to make a suitably dramatic exit, of course.
Don't go, Lubor. You're the only one who was ever kind to us.
We'll be all alone. Again.
Trust me, little ones. It is for the best that I go. Not only for the town, but for you, too.
How could it possibly be for the best? These children need you. The least you can do is give the townspeople a chance to change their minds.
I would not take it, Victor. It's over.
Over, you say? And so just like that, you're going to throw this town and these children to the wolves? I thought you were better than this. But it seems you had me fooled as well.
Victor.
Forget it. Do what you will.
You sure you're making the right choice, Lubor?
Of those available to me, I believe it's the best one. Yes. Ah, but where are my manners? Here. Your reward for clearing out that bandit camp. Right then. I have packing to do.
If there's anything I can do. Anything.
I'll bear it in mind. Thank you.
Why is everyone being mean to Lubor? He didn't do anything wrong.
I'm going to go with him.
Why didn't he tell us?
If you're going to try and convince me to stay, save your breath. I will not put those children at risk.
Why the hell?
What do you mean, don't jump to conclusions? He cast a spell without a crystal.
What's happened? The guards at the gate are a right old panic.
They're saying twin sides.
Please, a piece of fruit. A crust of bread. Anything.
You'll buy something, won't you? Please. Before the flies get at it.
I'm sorry, but at those prices...
Eloise told you about our negotiations with the Fist, I take it. Yes. They're surprisingly slow going, but we'll get there in the end.
I swear to you, it was right there on the captain's desk. Drake's tail, gone.
Gods! What does this mean for the war with the Empire?
Just between you and me, we lost contact with the forward camps a while ago. Till we know more about the situation in Twinside, the gates are staying shut.
I haven't sold anything in days.
Me neither. Little call for plates when there's nothing to put on them.
I see you've met with Master Cyril. I too serve the Phoenix, my lord, though in an altogether more lowly capacity than the bearer of the Burning Quill. I came here to conduct inquiries into the true history of the sins of Zemeckis. That a great tragedy occurred is evidenced clearly enough by the scars left on the land. But who is truly to blame, man or God? His Grace suspected the latter, and so I was sent here to investigate.
Oh, it's you. Hey, next time you see Goots, tell him we won't go back to stealing. Marcel's keeping us too busy to even think about it.
Please, a piece of fruit. A crust of bread.
What's happened? The guards at the gate are a right old panic.
They're saying twin sides gone. This inky shroud does not portend ill weather, alas. I fear it is the harbinger of something far worse. Has mankind strayed from the light of the heavens once more? Are we to be punished for our sins, like the denizens of Zemeckis?
This guy's getting you down, girl. It's all right. Survived this long, haven't we?
What I wouldn't give for a hot meal.
Looks like this is the end of the road for us.
When are they gonna let us through?
I don't know.
Who needs a porter when there's nowhere left to go?
If you're thinking about leaving for the Crystalline Dominion, you're out of luck. They've closed the checkpoint, even for those of us with traders' passes. Not that I'd recommend heading that way. People are saying they've seen smoke rising over Twinside, and infernal beasts roaming the Crystal Road.
Do you have any fresh water? The well's been all but dry since the skies changed.
Barely a drop left for myself. Looks like I'll be making another trip to Chedra's Thread.
Tell me, traveller, do the other villages of the realm suffer as ours does? With black clouds above and starving stragglers below? Not so very long ago, moneyed merchants would scatter their coin like seed as they passed through this place. Ah, would that it had taken root.
Has this wine turned? Or is it my stomach?
Tastes better if you don't look up.
It's only a matter of time before the army agree to our terms. You'll see.
I think something might be wrong with Theo. He never plays with us anymore.
We want to cheer him up, but we don't know any good jokes.
Please, a piece of fruit.
You'll buy something, won't you? Please.
What's happened? Can't.
Ah, Clive. You'll be pleased to know that the negotiations are progressing well.
That is good news.
Yes. Our comrade in Randala has just sent word that the contract should be signed very soon. But I still have much and more to prepare. It's a huge undertaking moving this many bearers at once. You couldn't do me a quick favor, could you?
What is it this time? More wild beasts?
Nothing like that. I just need you to go over to the caravans and ask El how long we have until the bearers arrive. Find out exactly how much faster I need to get all these supplies moved.
All right. I'll go and ask.
Thanks, Clive. I owe you one.
Don't blame yourself, El. This is their fault, not yours.
I know, but...
No buts about it, all right?
Is something wrong?
Vonnie came to give me a message from our intermediary. The talks with the Republican army have fallen through. They've reached an agreement with the Silver Peak Consortium instead. Though prices have fallen of late, we deliberately offered above the going rate to try and deter other bidders. But the Consortium offered double what we did, and the army jumped at the chance.
And you had no opportunity to make a counteroffer?
None at all. And we were so close.
El? What's happened? I saw Vonnie leaving. She didn't look happy.
And with good reason.
But I thought we were the only ones the Fist were speaking to about the bearers. How did the Consortium even find out about this?
It's not so surprising. They have ears all over the Republic. This isn't over. The Consortium will have to sell these bearers eventually, and at the price they paid, buyers will be few and far between. I'm going to Randalar myself.
Alone? You sure that's wise?
Are you offering to be my bodyguard? How kind. Meet me at the checkpoint near the capital gates. I'll send an owl ahead and request a meeting. You go to Cashlock, Theo, and get everything ready. We've waited far too long as it is. Even if I fail to free these bearers, there will be others. Someone needs to prepare the place and keep any prowling beasts at bay.
Oh, and that's me, is it? Well, it looks like I'm following orders till she gets back from meeting the Silver Peak Consortium, who've been doing their best to undermine our scheme. She'll never join them after this, surely. No, she said it herself. She still has plans for Cashlock, even if this one falls through. She means to stay with us, then. I can't say I'm not happy to hear it, but... is this what she really wants?
You have to trust her.
You're right. It's what she wants now. And if Elle's off fighting for the cause, I should do my part too. So I bid you farewell and safe travels, my friend. I'll gather my men and leave for Cashlock. We'll make sure the place is well stocked and defended. You go to Randalar and see if you can stop my sister biting the Consortium's heads off. If she won't consider her prospects, someone has to.
I'll do my best. All right. To Randalar, then. We'd better not keep Eloise waiting.
What's happened?
What I wouldn't give for a hot meal. Looks like this is the end of the road.
When are they gonna let us through?
Come on. Run like the wind. Time to fight. I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Did you arrange to speak with the Consortium?
Here they are now.
You wish to consult with me?
I did. It's about the bearers you recently purchased from the Fist. We had all but finished making arrangements to buy them ourselves, and then you stepped into the fray.
You misunderstand. The Consortium had an interest in purchasing them from the very first. It was only our regard for you that kept us from bidding. But your hesitancy in accepting our offer to you suggested that the regard was not mutual. And so we resumed our business.
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions without first giving them due consideration. But what is done is done. Come then. How much do you want for them?
Alas, you are too late yet again. We rarely take on such unconventional merchandise without a purchaser in mind. The bearers belong to him now.
Who is your buyer?
A trader from across the water. A most demanding fellow, if it's any consolation. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed, even given their own bunks for the voyage over. That's what you get when you deal with continental types.
I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture on the continent is quite different to ours. They pay good money for bearers not fit for the knacker's yard, and treat them like kings. But as long as they pay...
That does sound unusual. No matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little that can be done. Allow me to withdraw my interest. And with it, my interest in joining your organization.
My associates will be sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry you weren't able to save them.
As am I. But I only have myself to blame. He was right, you see. The Silver Peak Consortium did intend to buy those bearers before I did. Their representative hinted at a possible purchase when he came to recruit me. I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be encouraged to tell me more. And he did just that. As soon as he left, I sent my own offer to Randalar.
So you never...
No. I entertained the Consortium's proposal solely so I could learn more about those bearers. But I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out. I knew exactly who I was dealing with.
You tried.
I did. And if what he said was true, the bearers are to be well treated. Which is something, at least. But they deserved more. I wanted so badly to see them freed.
Eloise! Eloise! Word from Cashlock. The village is under attack. A pack of beasts have come down from the mountains, and there's a dragon at its head. Theo and the others are trying to hold them off as best they can, but the odds are against them. They need help, and fast.
Theo!
I'll go on ahead.
Thank you, Clive. I'll gather some men and join you there. Just... make sure he's safe.
Hold on, Theo. I'm coming.
Please, you have to go and help him. You're my only hope. You're Theo's only hope.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Back to the stables, Carl.